Well, well, well. Looks like we have another report that has come out. We're going to have more coming out. I told you this was going to happen, and just wait till it happens in America. However, I'm not so sure that the men and women will really care, but it's going to happen. And I'm going to be there to report on it whenever it does. A 73-page French government report, formerly classified as a secret defense and leaked to Le Figaro, details the growing influence and subversion strategy of the Muslim Brotherhood in France. The investigation was initiated by the French administration and highlights a quiet, long-term strategy of entryism in civil society. This is pretty shocking, but at the same time, you know that this is how they operate. Their strategy, by the way, rather than direct violence, the movement uses an entryism approach, quietly infiltrating French institutions to gradually subvert them from within. Wow. I mean, where have we seen that before? Have you looked into Americans, seen some of these city councils in here? I mean, they don't even speak fucking English. Target areas. They report the identifies four main pillars of French life the movement targets, which is religious infrastructure, education, digital media, and local community structures, aka your city council meetings. Then they're going to, let me read this again. Religious infrastructure, I mean, they're targeting your Christians in mostly attacks, but, you know, non-violent attacks, I guess. Education, your children's schools, and look where they're in. They got all these daycares. They're getting into your school systems, teaching that Sharia law, fucking Muslim shit. Digital media and local community structures, aka city halls and your city council meetings. And that's where they're moving into. And they're going to take you down. And they're doing this here in America. I mean, there are all kinds of videos that show this shit. The institutional footprint of these Muslim Brotherhood. The report estimates that the organization's French branch influences or controls roughly 10% of the mosques in France. 10%. Now, that make that 25% is going to be the real number. Along with nearly 300 sports, educational, and charity organizations. Charity organizations. Educational, again, more education. And now your sports with your sons and daughters. That's another part that they're targeting. And they say 10%, but you know it's more than that. National cohesion of the Muslim Brotherhood. French authorities categorize the movement as a threat to national cohesion. This report claims the ultimate goal is to establish local ecosystems that gradually impose strict Islamic norms, directly challenging the foundational French principle of secularism. Let me just repeat this again. The ultimate goal is to establish local ecosystems and gradually impose strict Islamic norms, aka Sharia law. And every one of these Indians want Sharia law. I mean, whatever they lie to you, they're lying. I mean, this is part of their Islamic shit, is this Sharia law trash. President Macron had ordered his ministers to drop a new proposal to combat the influence of political Islamism and the Muslim Brotherhood in the countries, including Minister Bruno Retailleau, I don't know if that's right, have emphasized the need to halt the expansion of parallel society networks to protect republic norms. Yeah, you think? These motherfuckers need all sent back. They're not here to help. They're not here to build. They're here to steal, take, and convert you over to Sharia law and Islam. And do not believe that they're here for any other thing whatsoever. Some more on this report here. The Muslim Brotherhood movement is a threat to national cohesion. According to the reports, the reality of this threat, even if it is long-term and does not involve violent actions, pose a risk of damage to the fabric of society and the Republican institutions, and more broadly to national cohesion. And the French people do not want these fuckers. Nobody wants these fuckers. They need to just, why can't they just do their own thing? I mean, they can irrigate, they can get water in, they can build crops, they can, well, maybe they can't do none of that, I don't know. France and Germany have the biggest Muslim populations among European Union countries. The report pointed out the spread of Islamism from the bottom up at the municipal levels. Again, your city council meetings. And you know what? I'm going to have to go to my city council meeting and see how many Islamists and Browns and shit that are all in my little community. I'm doing it. And I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to record it. I'm going to put it up. It's on the first and the third Monday of every month, I think, here in this county. A threat in the short term or medium term. In France, the movement is based on solid structure, but political Islamism is spreading primarily at the local level. Resolute and long-term actions on the ground seems necessary to stem the rise of political Islamism. Let me just again. A threat in the short term to medium term, based on a solid structure, but political Islamism is spreading primarily at the local level, at your little county municipalities and your little county towns, and your judges and your sheriffs and your own people have already sold you out, by the way. And if you go in there asking any questions, and I'm going to be asking questions, I'm going to get thrown out, by the way. But they're going to act like you're some foreign fucking citizen who doesn't know how to speak English, while the foreign fucking citizens who can't speak English are treated like you should be treated. It's fucking nuts. Formerly the Union of Islamic Organizations of France is identified as the national branch of Muslim Brotherhood in France. We are not dealing with aggressive separatism, but a subtle yet no less submersive aim for the institutions. The report estimates that there are 139 places of worship affiliated with the Muslims of France. Wait till we get down to how many Muslim they are. With an additional 68 considered close to the Federation, it represents 7% of the 2,800 Muslim places of worship listed in France. 2,800 mosques in France. You know what? Let me see how many Christian churches are in France here. Let's see here. How many Christian churches are in France? Let's see if there's at least double. Approximately 100,000 religious buildings, 45,000 being Catholic churches, 3,000 Protestant, and around 2,500 evangelical. Additionally, there are a significant number of non-Christian sites, including almost 3,000 synagogues and mosques. So you have about 45,000 Catholic churches, 3,000 Protestant churches, and about 1,800 to 2,500 evangelical churches. Let me read this here. Catholic dominance. Catholic dominance is the largest dominance. Ownership. The French state owns approximately 95% of Catholic churches built before 1905, while churches built after 19 are owned by their respective dioceses. Evangelical growth. Despite overall secularism, evangelical Christianity is growing, with a new church planted roughly every 10 days. About 15,000 of these religions are classified as historic monuments, including structures like Notre Dame, Paris, Chartres Cathedral, and Reims Cathedral. So at least they've got more churches than that, but still 3,000 mosques. That'd be blaring that shit. And you know what they do with their music and their religion. They got to worship everywhere. I worked at a truck stop here in Mount Vernon, or where I live, and we had Muslims coming in. This has been 15 years ago. We had Muslims coming in there wanting to like pray, and I'd tell them, no, man, like go do that shit in your truck or something. I mean, like, you know, I don't go around into all these buildings and start praying to God. You know what I mean? It's like, do that in your own place. And then they get all mad. Anyway, here's the truth with it. It's another report, and there's still more to come. You don't want to live under Sharia law. Nobody does. I don't care what species you are, what skin color you got. It won't just be the white little girls getting nabbed and groomer ganged. It'll be yours too, no matter what you are. Ass makes good money. You understand that? They are also cowards. I mean, to do this type of stuff, this backstabbing, infiltrating, coming in through the back doors, nabbing your fucking daughters off the street, drugging them, turning dogs loose on them. I mean, what are we doing even putting up with coward-like shit like that? I mean, we could stomp these fuckers' asses into the ground all day long. It would take nothing. What are we doing allowing this to happen? Anyway, like, subscribe, help me out. Thank you.